What's up, guys? We are going to train some back today. A little variation in my split recently is I have separated my back days from a thickness day and a width focused day. And the reason for that is I've been rowing heavier, and on those thickness days, I don't have as much left in the tank to really hit the lats the way I wanted. So I figured that was a good way to separate the two. So today you're going to see the width version, which is a lot of lat focused stuff, a lot of stretching, a lot of opening the back, and a lot of contracting the lats. We'll start with this single arm seated cable row because I feel like this is a really effective way to warm up the lat and the whole back and the shoulder all in one go. There's 3 different movements. The first one, go ahead and have both your feet on the ground, one hand here to kind of stabilize and make sure you're leaning forward. This is the lightest one, and we just pull straight through. 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how my thumb stays up the whole time. We don't want to twist the arm because that takes the tension and puts it on different pieces of connective tissue as you move through. And we just want to stay in one line, working on getting that shoulder back and squeezing that lat and warming up all of that muscle, getting blood back there to the back. Keeping your hand here ensures that you don't lean back as you pull. You can kind of stay there in this spot. Go ahead and do 12 per side. And this is set number 1 of our first movement. The second movement here, or the second variation that I like to do, I open the hip as I pull, and I still focus on keeping my chest up, but I have one foot to block, the other foot 90 degrees out. So the hip is open, and the stretch to the lat is really good as you come through. And so it's just gonna further pull you open. Go a little bit heavier because you have your brace here. Open the hip, chest up. Same thing with the wrist. It's important that as you're warming this tissue up and as you're going through this motion, you let the lat wrap around the rib cage on the negative and pull the elbow straight back towards the mirror to contract the lat. The lat contracts, it stretches around and contracts straight back. So you don't want to pull back around because then you're going to twist and use that oblique. You pull straight back, wrap around, pull straight back. It's a little trick. Notice how the trunk and the torso doesn't move very much, and we're moving our lat around that torso. If you get into twisting, you're just gonna lose that lat. That abdomen is gonna take over for you. I guarantee you, you'll wake up sore in your lat, in your abs, and you'll be like, why? I trained back. That's why. Tight core means it won't move. So the last one I take as a variation from Charles' dumbbell row, which we are actually gonna do next. But this kind of warms us up for that with even more stretch. You're completely over on the other side of the bench. Side saddle, I call it. Twist here. I'm always looking in the corner, out of the corner of my eye, for my shoulder to come forward. When I can see my shoulder, then I know it's time to pull back. So think about that. Your shoulder, you're waiting for your shoulder to stretch forward, and then you're pulling that shoulder back. If you do so, again, like I said, without twisting, your body will stay still. Shoulders in view, shoulders out of view. Shoulders in view, shoulders out of view. And that's when you know you're getting that rep perfect. Watch it here. That's how you have it. Should be nice and warm now, probably ready to work. Just to make sure of that, we're gonna do one set, both feet braced forward, and use some power here for the last one, just to, kind of solidify. You can make these kind of decisions as you're training. It's just a matter of how warm do you feel? How much did you like this motion? How much is your body connecting with it? Give it the chance. If there's something to be had, take it. Oh. And now ready to go. A little piece of advice for guys that are either trying to get back on the grind this coming new year or get in it for the first time. You know, I'm going through the same thing. If you follow me, I'm building myself back up to where I was. And one of the things that I've challenged myself with that I know is extremely important is take the heavy, hard stuff and attack it right away. Because if you want to put that size back on, if you want to get your body used to training again, or get it used to training hard in the first place, you have to do the hard stuff. And you have to do the barbell rows. You have to do the heavy squats. You have to do those things because otherwise your brain and your body aren't going to get used to going that hard again. And that's one way to really quickly ramp up your progress at the very beginning, is to just do the hard compound movements, do them to the extent that's exhausting, and get everything you can out of them, and watch yourself get back to where you want to be. I haven't done this in a minute. This is a Charles special. On the cable row, your lat stretches around your rib cage on the negative. It's made to stretch around your rib cage all the way, but it contracts straight back. So if you notice in this move, I'm letting the dumbbell drop far and let my shoulder come far across my body to stretch here. But then as I pull this way. I'm not wrapping and then pulling, right? I'm wrapping and then here. So each time I stretch through all the way and then extend into the contraction. Watch as I do it this time. This is a pretty compound heavy movement that focuses on the lats from a rowing perspective. There's not many rows that leave the middle back out like this one does. Now I'll talk before I go because I'm gonna go pretty hard on this and I don't wanna be trying to talk, I wanna put the focus in, but notice the stretch. Around on the negative, straight back on the squeeze. You pick a target on the floor to put that dumbbell at. And then on the squeeze back, you'll feel it. You don't have to really know where you're going there. Just pull that elbow straight back and you'll feel it. Just like that. You'll probably find that one lat gets a better squeeze than the other. Just means you gotta focus harder on the one you don't feel right away. It'll reestablish itself, it will. Takes a little bit of time. The nice thing about this, or one of the hidden benefits of this move, is if you turn too much with your core, if you put any hip in there, your lower back's gonna tell you. It's not a great position for your lower back. Keep the weight under control and make sure you're feeling that lat move around your rib cage. This is one of those, this is not a beginner move, but if you work it, it's gonna bring in a level of detail and stimulation to that lat that you're really looking for. There's certain moves that, there's certain moves that you'll see a guy and you'll be like, man, how did he get his back like that? I can't feel my back like that. I can't contract my back like that. It's stuff like this that makes that. So if you're just doing a normal lat pull down, a normal seated cable row, a normal one arm dumbbell row, you need some variation. This is all the kind of stuff that I teach, and I can help you to figure out for yourself what variations are gonna be right for your body. What variations are you gonna connect with the most? Click the link, let's get to work. This one you can brace really good right here. Oh yeah, nice pump. We do a standing high row now. Kind of notice that you'll see this is another motion that really stretches the lat uniquely because of the position we put ourselves in. We're gonna do this standing with our hips back, our upper body forward. We're gonna row down. It's a mimic of the hammer strength move. The hammer strength high row, very similar, but I like on the cables just a little better. Obviously, as you stack good days together, or you stack days on plan together, 1, 2, 3, through 3 weeks, through 4 weeks, obviously the progress itself is the main benefit there. But think about this. Every day that you do your plan consistently, you're gonna see that change. And that change is gonna motivate you to do tomorrow consistently. And those days stack up and that motivation stacks up. So every day you come in, just tell yourself, it's never gonna be the same as it is today because I finished it today and I stayed on plan. This kind of stuff is what keeps me going day after day after day, is seeing the fruits of my labor, which if you stay on plan, you can stack that stuff together and keep getting better. Just notice the stretch here. The stretch is what makes the contraction, and the theme of this day, this lat focused day, is the stretch. You want to make sure to open the lats all the way up and contract all the way through. This position allows you to go pretty hard on this because you're standing, you have a brace with the opposite leg, and you can pull really hard and not get out of position. The biggest mistake on back day is getting yourself out of position. Every time you lean back or run away from the bar, you're out of position and that lower back is doing more of that than you want it to. The biggest mistake is getting out of position on back day. Even I want to lean back as it gets heavy. Lean forward, pick that chest up, and pull your body forward into the motion to squeeze the back. All right, guys. So what I do, or what I've decided to do today for the pull downs, is we're going to do another kind of complex group of movements. We're going to do close grip pull downs, wide grip pull downs, and behind the neck pull downs. 2 sets of each. Okay, so we're going to do 2 sets, balls to the wall, of each of these movements, and that's going to be our pull downs for the day. Total is 6 sets. We're already warm, so we don't need to spend a lot of time with a warm-up set. You know enough about how to do this, so you're going to start with close grip pull downs, 2 sets. On the close grip, I always think about the thumb coming to my chest, or the thumb to my nipple. Lift the chest up to meet it. $15 reps is good. If you get 15, go up a little bit, but keep that as your target for each one of these sets. This movement is the one that most people go too heavy on and turn it into an upper back pull down. If you truly want to hit the lats, you need to stay close to upright, drive the elbows straight to the floor, and contract the lats. The more you lean back, the less of your lats you're going to feel. It's going to be all traps, rhomboids, and rear delts. It's not an upper back pull down. Somebody with less experience might have told you that a behind the neck pull down is pointless and bad for your shoulders. But I'm here to tell you, it's only bad if you do it wrong. The body is made to do this, and it's really important for the development of our back. It contracts the back in a way that not other movements really do. But again, if it's done wrong, it doesn't do a damn thing. It's one of those ones that it doesn't even have like a secondary muscle group. It just doesn't do anything. Notice the position first and foremost. I sit very far to the edge of the bench so that my whole body is in front of the cable. That way, as I pull straight down without having to move my body to get the contraction where I want it. Another misconception is people think it has to pull down and touch the nape of your neck or the top of your traps. Absolutely not. You're pulling your elbows into the contraction. You pull to the contraction of the back muscles, not the spot of the bar. Watch. Most common mistake on back day is getting out of position in the middle of the rep. At least that's my humble opinion. That's what I think I see a lot of wrong. if your shoulders can't do something like that, you know you have an issue. Now, you know, outside of some rotator cuff tear or some serious catastrophic injury, most of that inability is gonna come from tightness and imbalance, which can be fixed over time. If this is something you're struggling with, you gotta find someone to help guide you through this process. You gotta have confidence that your body can recover itself, and you gotta find the guidance you need. I'll point you in the right direction. Coming wide grip with this pullover is different from using the rope because it allows us to open our elbows all the way up and keep them there, which stretches the lat that little extra bit, as you can feel. So with the palms down, pulling up, the shoulders are already in the position they need to be in, whereas if we're in a rope, you have to pull those shoulders into that position and then they come back. I like the wide grip sometimes because it just allows your hands to be outside your shoulders and to get a pretty unique stretch all the way up in that lat. You can also let that bar come a lot higher that way. Woo. Oh, the back is almost done. Those lats are pumped. Same weight. Again, we're looking for the stretch. You can see the lats are really pumped already, and they'll stay that way for a little bit. We're gonna do 5 of those. This is our feeder for the day. It's a pretty heavy bicep work for the end of a back day, but we're just gonna hit this 5 sets, and then it's ab time. Oh man. You see, we only got 6 real reps on that last bicep curl, and then a couple of other ones, and that was after slowing down. So I'm gonna go down and wait to get that little extra volume on the next few sets. This hammer curl is really unique because it stops you from any kind of swing or momentum at all. And with the brachialis, you have to really get up high to get your brachialis to really get that contraction. And this locks you into place, so you have to pull really hard from the very beginning and get up into that brachialis without heaving it. Makes it very difficult, but if you want to really feel the brachialis, this is one way, foolproof way to get that pump. Notice, that's 15 pounds less than the curl was initially, but I got all 10 reps, and each one was slower with a complete contraction and a controlled negative. You can't tell me that it's not more beneficial to drop the weight and get that than to stick with that 60 and try to throw it around. I mean, you can try to tell me, but my biceps will argue with you because I am pumped way more than I was after that last set. We're not just getting it there and dropping it. We're getting it there, we're holding it, and we're bringing it down. Get it there, hold it, bring it down. Get it there, hold it, bring it down. You're never along for the ride. You're always driving.